I know I was controlling and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it.
Right.
I'm sorry things got to this point.
Is he crying? Get him out of here! We don't care about your tears! Mizkif's response to Emiru's abuse allegations makes it even worse. Why am I not surprised? Video by Omizi. Let's go ahead and check this out. Let's see what this sorry, lame-ass dude had to say in response to Emiru putting him on blast. Let's go.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing.
I am totally okay with exposing a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious I will not be friends with any of these people after this. Ludwig was right. I am going to completely separate myself from these people, this community, which is fine, and I've already been doing it. But I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released that are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on, because why not? Go crazy. Who cares?
Boy, this is actually sick and disgusting.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the end for you, sir. Oh, you are digging your own grave.
Remember that young streamer Emiru who we covered 7 days ago on this channel that got assaulted at TwitchCon? The young streamer who had her assailant come around the barricade and come up.
Yeah, you know, I never covered this situation, but this was absolutely disgusting. This dude, he should be permanently banned from anything Twitch related. I heard he got a 30-day ban, which is pathetic, but because of the outrage where that is concerned, they gave him a permanent ban.
Her, kiss her on the neck, potentially have something in his hand to, I don't know, do something with it. I can't even honestly think of what he was gonna do with the device that he had in his hand. Yeah, that same streamer. Well, in her address to Dan Clancy and the Twitch community about what happened, she said something very, very interesting. Something that had my ears kind of perk up.
But honestly, this has been a really hard year for me. Honestly, it's been a really hard, 2 years. I've been carrying a lot of really heavy burdens. There's a lot of things that I haven't wanted to talk about that I think I will probably be talking about when I get home from TwitchCon.
And lo and behold, the thing that she was talking about was levying allegations of SA, domestic abuse, verbal abuse, and a bunch of other things on streamer Mizkif, her ex-boyfriend. Now, I'm gonna give a trigger warning. Some of the stuff that's about to be discussed in this video is actually kind of disgusting, and not even kind of disgusting, it's quite disgusting.
Right,
You get to hear
literally all that's left for this guy to do is do something with a minor, and he would have completed the Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity Stone Gauntlet of being a piece of shit influencer. He's done it all at this point.
Both her telling of the events, and because we waited long enough, we also get his telling and admittance to a lot of the things that she claims that he did in his own words. Emiru starts off this conversation by talking about how
I did not, my liar detector shit did not even come close to blinking when we were listening to Emiru give her testimony of what happened to her. This guy's fucking cooked.
And emotionally abusive Mizkif is. She talks about two different instances. One instance in which she was made to cry for hours on end based off of Mizkif's drunken rage about him being, you know, so insecure.
Of course, he's also an alcoholic.
Secure about his viewership. Emiru had more viewers than he did, and he didn't like the way that she was streaming on one of her Q&A drunken streams. So he called / texted her and started berating her about how she was conducting herself on stream, causing her to take a brief 45-minute intermission to go off and handle this situation, only to come back and cry on camera.
Okay, wait, I need to walk around for a second. I'm a little bit, I think I took too many shots too quickly. I'm doing great. Okay, I'm feeling great right now. So why don't we continue the Q&A for a little bit?
Now, Mizkif would claim that she was going to farm parasocial viewerships. He was claiming that she was doing sexual things to, you know, garner a certain type of audience. He was saying that she was lifting her legs and doing something sexual with a bottle. But let me show you the clips. These are the clips that Mizkif is talking about that is garnering this audience.
I'd be shocked to see her doing something like that.
Saying that this is a way for her to sexualize herself.
Right, let's see.
It's some weird and controlling ass shit.
Yeah.
I'm turned on. I don't know. In this one, you got to be a super gooner to get.
I mean, she got, she fully clothed her entire body except her arms. She damn near is, you know what I'm saying, ready to go fucking pray at the The mosque, bro, the way how she covered up. And bro trying to
turned on by this.
Yeah, nah, this guy is an incredibly controlling, insecure child.
Like, I don't... Now, Mizkif goes on to address these allegations that he is some sort of controlling freak. He acknowledges that he is this type of person, but I'm gonna play it and let you hear how he describes it. That way you can make your own judgments.
I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship.
I hate his voice.
I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop.
What the fuck is going on with your eyebrows, man? I know we've all seen it, but what the fuck is this shit, bro? Shape this shit up. You look like a wildebeest.
Wearing pajamas. To stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole.
Stop wearing pajamas? What the fuck? Nigga, what is you, her daddy?
Stop talking about past relationships. And yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there.
No, you didn't want a dude to fucking pour aura all over her. Well, that sounded a little... You know, we know what he didn't want. He didn't want her to come in proximity to an even remotely normal man with an ounce of confidence, because you knew that she would get took from you with ease.
I wanted to keep her safe.
Interesting.
And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling, and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. Right. I'm sorry things got to this point.
Is he crying? Get him out of here! We don't care about your tears!
A way to sell it. I ain't gonna lie, Miss. Way to sell it. He didn't want anybody else to end up harming her because he wanted to be the only one to do it. This isn't the only situation of him being emotionally abusive to her.
Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour. Yeah. And like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us.
I'm gonna say this for anybody who's dealing with any sort of relationships or situationships that they feel potentially have the signs of being toxic. Anybody that's actively punching a hole in a wall, something that doesn't damage the wall greater than the hole that you put in it, but damages you, like they're physically willing to sacrifice themselves, that person is abusive and they are willing to punch you even. The same thing with threats of violence or harming yourself. It's all kikis and ha-has until it's not. That whole conversation about, oh, I'm gonna drive 150 miles per hour and we'll both end up dead in this car. That is not something to play with. That's not something to take lightly. If you're hearing those types of talking points in your relationship, that's a clear indicator and sign that somebody is abusive and that you should get out. This is a bit of violence.
For sure. There's something incredibly wrong and toxic that is going on when shit like that is happening, no doubt.
Mizkif himself even owns up to in his response to this Emiru blasting of him.
I was not perfect, and I reflect on those situations with poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched...
Wow, she threw a sweater at me. Oh. She threw a sock at me. I'm a victim too.
Holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was going to kill myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to kill herself in arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening.
Is it wrong for me that I don't care? I don't give a fuck in this situation if she's even said anything like that. I mean, can I even blame her with the level of abuse that she's enduring from this overgrown emotional, crazy, insecure man-child?
Of everything that I watched throughout these videos, Mizkif has a common theme of being insecure about his status and his stature in the content creator sphere. You would think somebody who is as big as him would feel like he is more of a success. But listening to Emiru talk about a time where Mizkif decided to drive 150 miles per hour again on the road, it seems as though he is always constantly questioning who he is and his place in the hierarchy of creators.
This wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did. A lot of the time, like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
And I'm always a guy of pattern recognition. So when I went to do my digging for this video, it seems as though this is something that he struggled with before. Who he is and people around him surpassing him. Hell, even his ex, Maya, who the internet through this research is claiming that he also did abuse her, he showed some signs of insecurity towards her and her growing viewership when they were together.
I was terrified. I couldn't understand what was happening. My viewers were dropping, Maya's were only going up. And there's a part of me that thought that I was going to be smaller than her, and I don't know if it was my ego or what, but I couldn't take it. I felt like shit. And I was on the phone with Austin, and then XQC, I somehow got on a call with him, and he talked to me for hours, making me feel better about it. And he did. And I genuinely, after talking to him, felt a lot better. And I don't think he even realizes what he did for me in that call, but he really did help me a lot. I was nonstop. It's all I could think about is that she was beating me as a streamer and I was going to die. But then he reminded me that women have a cap and men just grow as streamers, and that's pretty much just fucking it.
Okay, so the thing that made him feel better was putting his hope in misogyny and sexism. The idea that, oh, well, as a man, my ceiling is limitless. Okay, eventually she's gonna hit that glass ceiling we all know about.
And real classy dudes these guys are. Just stand up guys.
Piece of fucking shit, dude.
This leads us to...
Yeah, there is a direct link between being a sexist, misogynistic, bigoted, insecure piece of shit, bitch-made fucking loser, and finding these sexist ideas about the limitations of women appealing. You hear this kind of shit coming from the red pill space all the time. They just salivate and love so much the idea that when a woman hits the wall, the dreaded wall, that her options will start to decline and plummet. And regardless of whether or not there is any truth to that, and I suppose you could say that's true to a degree, but it's true for men as well. This is a fucking fantasy that these red pill losers have, that getting older doesn't make them less appealing to the opposite sex as well. But that all aside, just the fact that you relish in that idea, it just goes to show how weak of an individual you truly are.
Our biggest claim in this video, this is where Emiru claimed that Mizkif did two things. One, he gave her a black eye by throwing a phone at her, and two, he committed SA against her.
Right.
He would throw...
He also threw all kinds of shit at her, man.
Like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye. I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying, and he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed, and when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like, And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house.
I feel like I did something wrong? Yeah, man.
While I was still crying.
Now, I think Emiru, somebody who just came out of the TwitchCon situation where she got assaulted, knows how serious this is. Knows that she can't just levy these allegations, you know, baselessly and aimlessly. And anybody who is a victim of SA, like, I'm standing with you totally. Especially after Mizkif comes and gives his explanations as to how both situations happened. I have no choice but to believe her wholeheartedly, because what he says is just hogwash and baloney.
Yeah.
She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat. I'm brushing my teeth. Right here. Look at me. I would throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over because...
Why would you do that, you fucking psycho? Why would you do that? As if that's gonna make it okay. Why would you throw your phone at the bed when she's in the bed? Obviously, it could hit her. So, yeah, I think this is, even if he wasn't directly trying to abuse her out of anger because he wasn't in a fit of rage, it still communicates a level of... it's still abusive. It still communicates a level of carelessness. It reveals how you feel about her, how much you value her. It's nasty. It doesn't make it any better.
I was going to bed, so I would just throw the phone.
And you hit her in the eye?
Yeah.
That's what you want us to believe?
Right.
Now, I don't believe that black eye story for 1 second. You're telling me that you casually tossed your phone in water bottles or whatever the case may be, and it's something that just so happened to hit her in her eye to give her a black eye? Now, let me ask you this. Why, after that situation, was Emiru going on live stream lying to people about how she got the black eye?
I actually had like a small black eye from running into something, and no one could tell. I thought I wouldn't be able to cover it because it was really bad.
That's a bad sign when she has to lie about how she got her bruises.
What'd you run into? I was like turning a corner really fast.
Right.
And I hit like the bottom of my eye socket on the wall.
Yeah, she fell down the stairs. I hate it when that happens.
Even come up with a better excuse as to how she got the damn black eye. Like, that's abuse victim 101. Running into a doorknob or door hinge or whatever to hit her in the eye socket. And apparently it was really, really bad. She wasn't showing her face or couldn't show her face and talked about covering it up. But she got that from a phone hitting her in the face. I can't believe that for 1 second. And if that's the excuse that you're gonna use for the black eye, let's hear the excuse that you used for the SA.
We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food. And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted.
No, you didn't start to kiss. You started kissing her on her face, and she allowed it. She tolerated it, which is not something that is abnormal for two people who've had an intimate relationship before. She's appreciating you, trying to show her some degree of sympathy in her moment of emotional vulnerability. And then you took that as a sign that you should put your greasy sausage fingers down her pants, like the animal that you are, the fucking wildebeest with the chopped eyebrows that you are.
She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general.
No mention of the crime.
I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back.
You didn't say sorry either, you fucking greasy animal.
Back then.
No mention of the crying. And again, if you were in a situation in which you thought this was the next step, advancing to the next stage, y'all were cuddling and stuff like that, especially in a time of distress, you would have no problem with having a conversation with her right after. Kind of acknowledging that, hey, I read the room wrong. You yelping and leaving.
The fact that she screamed also reveals that you were being incredibly aggressive. This was no slow, smooth, like, you know what I'm saying, sliding your hands on her body. You was doing this shit with aggression. clearly, for her to have to go straight to screaming.
And the way that you did seems as though you did something that you knew you were guilty for. If Mizkif didn't give enough bad excuses after bad excuses on this live stream, he then doubles down on what Emiru kind of alluded to at the end of her stream, and the fact that, hey, Mizkif is going to try to paint me to be some sort of a villain in this conversation. And the way that he does that is by playing the animal card, the same card that they tried to use on Hassan last week.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. Along with many others...
Yes, because you cannot give an animal food and water for weeks and they will continue to live. We all know that. We all have experience with that.
Who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over...
That noise you hear in the background, by the way, is his stream, so, you know, we just have to bear through it.
1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. And my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you."
Because of rabbits? Because of as I said in the last video, fuck them rabbits. I don't give a fuck about no rabbits.
What? Oh.
Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits.
I think it's odd.
These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected.
What's that?
This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not gonna sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting.
So let me get this
irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant.
Straight. Your ultimate combatant to the essay allegations, the DV allegations, the verbal abuse allegations is the fact that Emiru was neglectful to rabbits that were also in your house and in your care.
Exactly. You ain't do shit about it either, nigga. That's actually the real point. You let that shit slide too. If you really cared about those rabbits, you know what you would have done? You would have brought them to wherever you bring rabbits when you don't want them anymore. Huh? That's what you would have done. You would have released them into the wild so that by the next day they would have been eaten by a hawk or a coyote or whatever the fuck happens to the rabbits in the wild. Rabbits also, I mean, how long do they live? They don't live long, I think. So, yeah, so you didn't give a fuck either. So you get 0 sympathy points from me. I will admit, it is disgusting to, like, I didn't realize the shit was going to be this bad. This is fucking nasty, I ain't going to lie. But you just as guilty by association. You saw that shit every day, didn't do shit about it. It is what it sounds like. So you're just as guilty, in my opinion.
I don't think that that's like the best excuse in the world. Actually, I don't think it's an excuse at all. It's a non-excuse. It's crazy because he's trying to play this internet game that a lot of content creators try to do, in which they utilize their audience and their feelings towards a situation in order to paint somebody or someone else in a bad light. I'm gonna be quite honest with you though, gang. This is falling on deaf ears. Yeah. Nobody cares about these rabbits in this situation at all. When there are claims of SA that you admitted and acknowledged, when there are claims of DV, which you gave an excuse about, and when there are claims of threats, violence, and other things. Yeah. You are an insecure man, and that is a invalid excuse, full stop. Now, what Mizkif did to close out his stream is he gave a pretty eerie and ominous threat to other content creators and streamers out.
Mizi, you gotta bat this camera up, my boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was trying not to say it, but you really in my face right now, my boy.
Out there that he knows
Bat
personally.
This shit up a couple of inches.
I am going to stand up for myself. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away. I have no plans to go away. And I believe a lot of the situations today were absolutely exaggerated. I have dozens of photos and videos, calls and messages as well, if she has them. I have things I will be leaking over the next few days of other people, of other things. I have a lot of messages that I have.
He's like, I'm taking you. What was that scene from Denzel, Trading Day?
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh?
He's like, I'm gonna take all of you down with me. Fuck this shit. Do it, actually. Yeah, let's get more of these weird ass niggas up out of here. Take them with you.
I'm going to expose as time goes on, because I do believe that this is a time to go fucking buck wild.
So you've been sitting on these other videos and other evidence of people doing
none of these people are good people. None of these people are good people. Oh, now you want to bring it to the public's knowledge that this foul shit that you're about to expose. Now you want to let people know what's going on when you're getting exposed, which shows us what? You are a piece of shit who doesn't actually care. You're just trying to hurt people because you're getting exposed. Truly. But the saddest part is, if this guy doesn't get banned or put in jail for whatever the fuck it is that is being alleged against him, he's still gonna probably, if he just keeps posting consistently, he probably will still have a career, man. That's the crazy thing about the internet, man. It's insane.
Or DV or just other disgusting stuff from your content creator and streamer friends. Got it. We hear you loud and clear. And I think that is a bow on this specific conversation, but it opens up the present of a bigger conversation. Twitch, the community, the streamers, the content creators have problems, like real problems. Not like, oh, we can't figure out which platform to stream on, but no, these are people who are violent. And it's disgusting because in his attempt to defend himself, Mizkif is ultimately admitting that, yeah, I know that.
Just think how nasty and weird this dude is. Back to the rabbit shit. His reaction to seeing these animals being kept in this environment wasn't, I need to do something about it because I care so much about animals and rabbits, but collecting evidence for blackmail in the future. That's the 1000% the reason he took those pictures. He's like, this might come in handy one day.
Streamers commit these atrocities, I just hide them, just like other streamers do. But I tell you what, Mizkif, you go ahead and you release that information.
Please.
Release that information. I want you to, because we can pack them and you up. We can pack everybody up, because there's no way that we should be platforming anybody who has these levels of skeletons in their closet. You honestly just don't deserve a platform. For Emiru, I'm praying for you, to be quite honest with you. Like you said, this is a hell of a year, and your assaults are getting caught on camera and getting admitted to by the people that are doing the assaults. What a hell of a time that we live in.
Yeah, we'll see. Hoping and praying that Twitch does the right thing. Twitch is so terrible at this point. You know what I'm saying? Horrible platform, horrible leadership. But that's the situation. That was the pathetic response by Mizkif. What a stupid name, too. Mizkif. I don't like that name. I don't like anything about this guy at all. But you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out.
Yeah, that's right, you better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.